Okay, I want to talk about domain and range for next class. We're going to use 4 sticky notes, and at the end of each sticky note, we're going to write negative infinity, positive infinity. So as you can see here, I have negative infinity on the left side. I have negative infinity at the bottom. And then I have positive infinity on the right because it's going to positive. And then I have positive infinity at the top. And we're going to use these 4 sticky notes to write the domain and the range. So when I ask you for your quiz how many sticky notes we have, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's take the x values, which are vertical, meaning we're going to take these here. Remember, the x-axis is horizontal, but its values are vertical. And so if you look at this sidewalk right here, okay, they create vertical lines by doing this. And so this is what you're going to do in class. Let me focus the video a little bit. Okay, that's better. So if you look here, if I put the edge of the sticky notes right on top of the dot, that tells you where it starts and where it ends. So this one is going to start at -1, and then this one is going to end at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So -1 to 7. So over here in this first box, we know that x is greater than -1. Then we know that x is less than 7. Now how do you write that as an inequality? A compound inequality. That means instead of 2 separate statements, we're going to have one statement. You put the small number here and the big number here. Now if you notice, the symbols switch, they're both pointing to the left. That is because the x is first for x is less than 7 right here. See that? X came first. But the 1, the -1, is no longer second. It is first now. See how it's before the x here? It's behind the x. So when it switches sides, the symbol has to switch as well. Okay, now there's one more thing we need to talk about. This dot here at -1 is closed. So we need to put a line under it, meaning equal to. So here, where my -1 is, I need a line under it. That means equal to. So it is greater than or equal to -1. Okay. This one is open at 7, so I leave it alone. Remember, these are your x values, so we're talking about independent values. We're also talking about domain. Now let's do the y. So this is my ladder, if you could see it. And when I fold it, you'll see the ladder steps. So I start at the bottom because I'm going up my ladder, and I start at 1 to -3. And I stop at 2, +2. So it may be easier to just put -2. Let me go back and check that. No, that's supposed to be a 3. -3. And then +2. Remember, your small number goes here. Your big number goes here. Now let's go back and look at if it's shaded or not. At -3, it's open, so I do not need a line here. For +2, it is closed, so I do need a line. Now, how do I go ahead and write this into pieces? Well, the y came first, so y is less than or equal to 2. But on this one, the y didn't come first. So when I put -3 here, I have to flip that sign the other way. So y is greater than -3, and if you look, here it is. It's going up. And then if you pull this one down, it's going down. So less than, and that's what we have, greater than -3 and then less than 2. Let's do another example. So I need to take this off. The coordinate plane, it extends all the way on the left side to -infinity. Bottom, it goes to -infinity. The top goes to +infinity, and the right goes to +infinity. So we have 4 sticky notes. To do the domain, I fold this way, and what do you have? It starts at -2 and it ends at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at 5. So what do we do for that? We're talking about the domain, the independent values, because x values are vertical. And remember, the -2 is shaded, so I need a line under it. The 5 is also shaded. I need a line under it. So now how do we write that here? Well, the x came first, so I just keep the same symbol. But the x didn't come first here. The -2 did. So what do we do with that symbol? We flip it. And so the best thing to, I would say in this to remember here, this means between. And to be between means it is increasing, going up, and then going down at the same time. That's why we call this a compound inequality, because we're doing both of these at one time. Okay, let's do the range. So I need to pull these back, and now we need to turn it the other way. And so it starts at -2, and it ends at +1. So -2, +1, and I'm talking about y values, so write a y. They are both closed, so I put a line under them. And now we write what that means. Well, y is first for the 1, so y is less than or equal to 1. For this one, I flip it to greater than. Okay, I'm going to do this last one above and save the other ones for class, so that this is not a long video. Here, 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 here. So when I fold for the domain, I notice there's an arrow. That means it keeps going. So this needs to stay down. And it starts at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -6. But guess what? It never stops. So x is greater than -6. We look here to see if it's closed or open, and it is open, so no line under this one. I don't have another number to write, so it's not a compound inequality. That's just the answer. Now we do the y, so I turn it this way, and I notice it starts here. It looks like it's in the middle. So instead of a whole number, I need decimal or fraction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7, so that's 6.5. And it is going which way? Is it going up, or would you say right? Well, we're talking about the y-axis. So is that up? Do you go up on the y-axis? Yes. So this is going up. That means greater than. So I need to write y is greater than -6.5. I feel like I need to do one more. We'll practice this in class. And put my sticky notes back. Okay, so I'm going to start with the y because that seemed to be the hardest one. So my y is this. I see an arrow, so I'll let this flat down. So is this going to go down, or is it going to go up, or is it going to the right? No, it's talking about the y-axis, so it's up or down. So this is down. And what number is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So y is less than 5, and that's it. Now we do the X, and I see an arrow, so leave that one open. And it starts at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -6. So you write X is less than -6. I notice that it's open, so no need to put a line under it. There's one problem on this page that I did not do.